Hello and welcome to What's Map for Cities Skylines, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. There are thousands of items on the workshop now, so finding the right one for your next city build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review some using our 5-star rating and the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture out to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. BonBon here. How are you doing? Right, it's request day, and this has been requested by several people over several weeks. The Patreon BonBon buddies haven't voted this one in, so I figured it was about time I had a look at it. Now, I'm not entirely sure where they got their inspiration from, but I have a suspicion it might be complete coincidence that it looks a little bit like this. Maybe it is. Anyway, what map are we looking at? Well, if you didn't notice it in the description, it's Attersee by Tone Mapped. The thumbnail looks stunning, doesn't it? The thumbnail looks stunning. There's your start square. Plenty of build space in that, both sides of the river. Nice and flattish. Pretty cool. And there's your resources, which I think is workable. Definitely workable as a vanilla map, which is always a plus thing as well. Half an extra star there for gameplay. You will need a mass transit. Other than that, it's pretty much vanilla. However, there are two Attersees on the workshop. You'll want to pick up the latest one, 0.8, not 0.6. Although all the description is on 0.6 and not on 0.8. So if you want to read the description, you'll have to read the 0.6. You know what I mean. Right, there is your... We're going to look at the road and rail together for a change. How about that? Nice little perfect bridge there. No major problems with that. A little bit winky wobbly there with the rail. Straighter would have been better, I think. But there we are. Nice lined highways there with the trees. All vanilla trees. All great. Now let's have a look at this. Going raised here with the rail. And it's, to be honest with you, realistically you'd want a longer lead up to that. But within the game, 1 unit up, 2 units across. I think it's the bare minimum, 2 units that way, 1 unit upwards. Probably the bare minimum you can get away with and have it looking reasonable. Right, we don't go that way, we'll go this way. We'll follow the highway, which has got rail. Now, the rail stays elevated from now on in. And they do explain why in the description, so certainly have a read of their description. We're coming up to our start square intersection now. Now, this perplexes me slightly. We're splitting the rail. Okay, that's fair enough, I guess. Oh, what's it? Hello. Hello, Mr. Deer. How you doing? Stag night, is it? Okay. Yes, so we're staying elevated here. Why are we elevating the rail again here? Well, obviously to get across the central roundabout. We've gone pretty high with the rail there. Okay. But what's this rail doing? That I don't understand at all. Why is that going there? Was it for an elevated station? I don't know. But anyway, we have a separated rail. That's your intersection, full stop. Pretty nice choice, I think. It's quite handle quite a lot of traffic, I imagine. And that's your view of your start square. Pretty flat. Lots of room to build there before you have to start thinking about where to go next. Now, if you come off that and the highway and head that way, you've got the farmlands, which is the prettiest part of the map. The only pretty part of the map. The rest of it's that's all right. It's okay. We follow anyway. We'll follow it. We're staying elevated with the rail again, which I suppose makes it easy for you to branch off away from the highways. And we've got this very nice looking bridge here with the rail running through the middle. There is a minor problem. Let's see if I can get down here. There. Can you see it? Have you seen it already? Up a bit. Hang on. Can you see it yet? Can you see it? Yes, of course you can see it. Oops. How are you going to get a train through that? Oops is the word, I think, for that one. Still, at least it's only happening once on this map. Because if it happened twice, then basically there's going to be nothing. Well, a major slap on the wrist. Oh, look at this. Okay, so it's happened twice in the map. Next question also is, look at how steep these ramps are to get up onto the bridge. Look how steep they are. Why? That bridge doesn't even need to elevate. What's the point of that? And does it really need a suspension? Does it really need pillars at all? I don't know. Down here we come to our next intersection, and the rail goes around it. That's much tidier, isn't it? Much tidier. A bit sharp, but tidy. Shall we go? That looks like it's fog that way. Shall we? This is obviously vanilla intersection as well, with these steepish ramps here, which just you wouldn't want to drive up them or down them, to be honest with you. Not in real life. Needs to be smoothed out a little bit. Right, we'll follow the highways. The highways, like I say, pretty reasonable. I mean, they're drawn out very well indeed. Another one of these bridges, no rail in the middle, which is frankly quite good. Oh, look, we've got got glitchy old trees there growing through the road. That's a big oops if ever I saw one. But at least the ramps are really smooth. The ramps there are great. More glitchy trees going on there as well. Down to our next intersection, which is the Cloverleaf. Cloverleaf, how we miss thee. I don't think it's the vanilla one. It's alright, it looks okay. There's no glitching going on at all, so I'm happy with that. This is a nice smoothish down. It's definitely, that's the 1 and 2 rule that I stand by. And like I say, could have been smoother, but that's not too bad at all. I'll accept it within the purpose of the game. Sorry, I thought I saw something there on the road. It was a truck. I know. There's supposed to be a truck on the road. Where were we? Yes, we're heading through. Like I say, looking at the landscape around. Landscape's okay. It's not the world's greatest. Now, this is interesting. Look at how steep that appears. To get up onto the bridge. Now, obviously, if there's a shipping route through there, you do need to get it elevated. But that for me is a little bit too steep and a little bit too strong. This intersection's, whoa, look at that. That's your wishbone, but elevated wishbone intersection. Haven't seen one of those for a while, a long while actually, probably for good reason. Nice decoration on this roundabout. That's okay, I'm quite happy with that. Once again, all vanilla trees. I have been corrected on that in the past. I thought they were custom trees, but no, they are vanilla. They came with the last update, or possibly the last but one update. Rail's a bit lumpy bumpy, but the rail ends down here. And we're not heading off to the fog, we're going down in the pits. Why shouldn't we? There we are. One quarry. Not Don Quarry, one quarry. Right, and you'll need to Google that, kids. MCH, the Sunbury by Shenanigan. These are individual assets, and for me, this kind of reminds me a little bit of Edward Scissorhands, the building, sort of like the environments that they used to live in back when. It's kind of like 1950s utopia, suburbia, United States. Big old swimming pool in the back garden. It's as big as a house almost. I love it. I think it's really quaint. I think it's really sweet, and if you are trying to recreate 1950s America, that is probably an essential asset. MCH the Sunbury by Shenanigan. What a great name that is as well. And so on to the theme and LUT review. This week we're still looking at the Celtic Coast theme by Mr. Miyagi with Rain Day LUT, and doing a few factoids while we're here. Here's one. When H.G. Wells's War of the Worlds was broadcast, it was so realistic that a woman tried to poison herself rather than face attack by Martians. 2 people were treated for heart attacks and dozens went to hospital suffering from shock. Oh dear. Falabella horses are only 60 centimetres tall, but they can run so fast that over a short distance they can actually beat a full-sized racehorse. And finally, termite hills in Australia can reach up to 6 metres. Translated to human scale, these would be 4 times taller than the Empire State Building. God bless you, you little termites. Oh, and they work for free as well. Unlike our workers who want to be paid so they can keep their family. I think it's disgusting. Oh, can you imagine how selfish that is, expecting to feed your family? Anyway, that's it for the theme and LUT review today. Now let's have a look at the shipping back at Attersee by Tone Mapped. Shipping route through here, fine. You've got a dead end here, that's alright. And then down here we've got another one, which dead ends over here, which is fine. Very happy with those two. And then there's one more that seems to go all the way through the river system. And down here, which would have been the Irish Sea if this was Great Britain. But look, it's not. It's two separate shipping routes that actually meet in the middle. That's quite peculiar, and not a wonder I couldn't see any ships along here to check the shipping clipping, which I can tell you without doubt would go crashing straight through these pillars. No doubt about it at all. So that's another bit of a mark down there, I'm afraid. So anyway, that's your shipping clipping. And let's have a look at the water flow. The water flow is, well, good and bad. Here's your start square, and you've got water flow coming down from here, pretty strong. Going down this river here, pretty good. And joined up by that little supply there. And also down here, going down here, it's pretty strong also. So yeah, like I say, good and bad. Well, that's the good. Let's have a look. Oh, it softens a little bit there, that's okay. Let's have a look at the main rivers, etc. Like down here, what's the secondary river system? Barely any water flow, and it's all going the wrong way. Nothing going on down here at all. Can't even see any motion. Down here, maybe. Nothing going on down here. And when you get into the main shipping routes, there's a little bit, but not an awful lot. And I'm just a little concerned that you shouldn't use those areas. Right, let's have a look at terrain. The terrain varies. It's not bad, actually. Not bad. It's interesting, and I think if you're going for the rugged kind of look out here, it's certainly paying off. This island, this is not farming, is it? Surely. Well, why are the trees in lines? If you do, are you really farming that island? Maybe, possibly. Anyway, the farms are very pretty. The farms are very nicely done, and this is probably, like, say, the best part of the whole map in terms of detailing. Nice little abandoned farm shacks there, and look, nice detailing there with some cut down trees. Brilliant. That's probably what caused the fire, all that firewood. There's your start square. We've had a quick look at that, and we've got a nice little jetty out here as well. That's all right. And then we've got the water flow here, but I'm not sold on this water source. It doesn't do anything for me. It might be okay for you, but for me it's kind of like it's a lose, that one. Never mind. Let's have a look what else we got. Yeah, so this is the other side of the river. It's still start square there. Plenty of build space on both sides of the river. We've got a castle. The castle's okay. It's all right. Detailing's, you know, I mean, the layout's okay, I guess. Just, I mean, a nice clearing around the outside so you can see. Location's all right. I think the detailing's all right at best. Let's have a look up the hills. Now, hills are accessible. Definitely okay for gameplay. If you want to get up here and do some stuff in the hills, you're not going to be held back too much there. And say loads of room to expand. Just a question on, like, say, the water flow possibly. What we got over here? Then we go over to this side as well. Very rugged over here. Very rough looking land. And like I say, okay for detailing. Probably won't be building up in these hills though, maybe. Oh, and of course, then we got the quarry, which I've seen more interesting quarries, to be honest with you. But it's not the worst. And it's nice to see. Nice effort. Right, aesthetically, oh, I don't know. I want to give it a 4 star, but to be honest, the only 4-star area is really the farms. I'm going to give it a 3. A good 3, but a 3 nonetheless. Detailing, it kind of shoots itself in the foot here and there and everywhere. I want to knock it down to a 2, but I think across the whole it just about holds its own, and I'll give it the 3rd star for detail. Gameplay potential, yes, there is a possible problem with the water flow. Yeah, you've got probably a few jobs that you want to tidy up before you get started on it. I think I'd be generous and give a 4th star for gameplay, because I think it's a map that a lot of you will want to have a go at. A lot of you have. It's Attersee by Tone Mapped, and not a bad map. Just needs a lot of work, I'm afraid. Well, thanks for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Don't forget to join me tomorrow for another map in the What's Map series. You can go back and watch last night's Skylines talk as well with Ikanya, where we talked about his DCMA strike. Yes, that thing. Well, of course, you can join me over on Patreon. I'd love to see you and become a member of the BonBonB Buddies, because it's like a one happy crew over there. And yes, we share each other's balloons. What?